too. That's what's up. Hello, Hammond.
Woo!
I missed you. Did you miss me?
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited that we all survived Mardi Gras this year. It was stormy. I was frightened. I think on Mardi Gras morning, the Lord woke up and he looked down onto Bourbon Street, where he saw scantily clad women throwing themselves at strange men, and scantily clad men throwing themselves at even stranger men. And the Lord said, "How should I express my displeasure with these heathens? I know what I'll do. I'll make it rain. I'll make it rain on these hoes." You get them, God. That'll teach those bitches to wear body paint in public. I think that men must feel a little bit left out during carnival season. Does it seem unfair to you guys that topless titties translate to trinkets, but flashing your phallus will get you arrested? Fellas, by a round of applause, how many of you would proudly display your package for a plastic prize?
Woo!
Ladies, take note. All of the well-hung gentlemen have just identified themselves. You're welcome. I'm like the Cupid of the comedy world. I do what I can. I think that everyone deserves love, even midgets. I know, it's a radical opinion, but that's how I feel. I think that everyone deserves to find that someone special, but I hate it when I see couples making out in public. Okay, not all couples, just the really ugly ones. It's like, I'm glad the two garbage male adults found each other. But they need to keep it PG until they get back to their cave. Why is it that morbidly obese people always dress so poorly? Like, sometimes they'll wear like a floral print tarp, and I'm okay with that. That's fine, because it's like, what's behind curtain number 1? I don't know, I don't have to find out. But sometimes they go to the opposite extreme, where they wear like skin-tight spandex. You can see the cellulite. Oh my god. I saw this short, fat bitch with a floppy vajayjay wearing leggings as pants. I know, right? It was like so wrinkly. It looked like she had a Shar-Pei between her legs. It was frightening. She had like a snooky-looking face and like a wrinkly dog. Oh, it was violent. It was awful. Sometimes I wonder what Snooki's parents think about her. Like, I know my dad would not be proud of me if I invented the word schmushing. Would not be proud, which, I don't know, my dad doesn't really support me no matter what I do. Anyone else have parents like that? It's like you're never quite good enough. I told my dad I was doing stand-up comedy, and his reaction was, he was like, "If you're gonna get on stage and belittle yourself, you may as well be a stripper." And I was like, "Why, Dad? Because I'm an amazing dancer?" And he said, "No, because you're not funny." I know, he went on to call me a disappointment, a waste of talent, and he said that even if I became the next Ellen DeGeneres and made $50 million a year, he still would not support me. And I was like, first of all, Dad, I'm a comedian, not a lesbian. Second of all, if I make $50 million a year, I'm not going to care if you support me. Because that would make me Batman rich, and his parents are dead. He seems to be doing just fine. You know what I'm going to buy when I get Batman rich? I'm going to buy a Lamborghini that morphs into a submarine, that morphs into a helicopter, that morphs into a dragon. incessant to have both a helicopter and a dragon feature? Not me. And to those people I say, let's see your helicopter breathe fire. Let's see you get clearance to land your dragon in the commercial airport. You gotta think of these things, that's how you become Batman. You know what else I'm gonna do when I'm Batman rich? I'm gonna buy like really poor urban schools and I'm gonna rename them after all my favorite rappers. That's not for me, that's to benefit society. Because think about it, if you're a young thug, which school are you gonna want to graduate from? George Washington High or Little Wayne's Institution of Higher Learning? The dropout rate at my school is going to be 0, and my football team is going to be stacked. Are you guys upset ever about what's happening in football right now? The whole like, oh, it's pissing me off. Because last year was the first year I played fantasy football. I did awesome. I was second in my league. Yeah, thank you. Guys usually clap for that. They're usually, that's hot. Right? Is that attractive, fantasy football? Yeah. Guys? Woo! I think it is. That's why I started doing it. I'm adopting your customs and learning your lingo so I can steal your resources. You guys are the Indians in that scenario. No, but I'm really good at fantasy football. I understand it. I set my roster every week. I make sure my players are healthy. But what I don't get though is, how do I go from second to first, you know? How do I motivate my players? So I gave all of my fantasy players fantasy raises. Hopefully they don't blow it on fantasy narcotics and fantasy strippers. Wind up in fantasy jail doing 5 to 10. Look guys, just because they're fantasy doesn't mean they're not professional athletes. You guys have been a great audience. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Batman Rich. That's Rich. You know, Batman couldn't get away with that shit though in today's world. Think about it. Think about this.